What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager series. This is episode number 8, and today we're returning with the final episode of the season as we play the Premier League final day at home to Liverpool. Before we get to the games though, shout out Cherry's been getting on off camera, and it's been poor. There's no other way of putting it, man. Of course, the last episode our goalless draw at home to the Toffees and then the 3-0 loss away at Old Trafford. We bounced back in the following game with a 4-1 win against Spurs, and I was thinking, here we go, strong end to the season. Even if we can't make Europe, top 10, let's do it, boys. We beat Spurs 4-1, David Brooks bagging a hat-trick, you'd love to see that. We were basically through ball FC in this game. Every single goal from open play, 2 for Brooks and 1 for Anthony, got scored from through balls, and then Brooks scored from the pen to complete his hat-trick. Even Perez grabbed a consolation. That's all it proved to be. But our final 3 games, back to familiar sort of form in what has been a really tough second half of the season. Well, we've only won 4 times in this second half of the season. Starting with 5-2 loss away at the Etihad against Manchester City. Not a real surprise we were thumped in this game. I played the counter-attacking system for this one. I think that's going to be a one-game wonder, that tactic, because every time we used it since the win, we've struggled really, really poorly. Yeah, thrashed 5-2. When Ruben Diaz scored in the first 3 minutes, I knew it would be a very, very long afternoon. Solanke did brag a brace, to be fair, to twice battle us back in the first half, but really, we were just carved open far too easily. And our final 2 games, really poor, goalless games where we failed to score or get any points. Starting with a 1-0 loss at home to Leicester City. Nato dropping a rare clanger in stoppage time. Vardy just looped the ball into the box. No danger for the Brazilian, or so you'd think. Flaps it, gets nowhere near it, and eventually Harvey Barnes turns in with the final kick of the game. Second game this season, we lost to Leicester with the final kick of the game. And then the final game of camera was a very humbling 4-0 loss away against our rival Southampton at St Mary's, battling for survival. They had a lot more to play for than we did, don't get me wrong, but I thought you could at least put up a fight in this game. Thrashed 4-0, Saliso scoring the first in this one. Basic making it 2, and then we totally capitulated. Conceded 3 goals in 13 minutes after Che Adams made it 3, and Basic got a 4 for the Saints just before the hour mark in an abysmal loss against our rivals. So it's safe to say we've been on holiday for a while. We had an amazing run around the time before the World Cup. As you can see, the first half of the season, we were picking up wins, and sometimes consistently, picking up really, really good results. Defensively, we were doing really, really well. But ever since the turn of the new calendar year, yes, we had that big scalp against Arsenal. Yes, we beat Leeds away down the road. But since then, it's been really, really poor. And that's why as we head into the final day, as you can see, we cannot finish in the top 10 now. We're in 13th place. The likelihood is that's where we're going to finish. We can't finish lower. We can finish in 11th, as high as 11th, but realistically, it's more likely as we face the new champions, Liverpool, we're probably going to stay finished in this 13th place. And of course, because we survived, for those that follow me on Twitter at Docklanders, you would have seen last night what that's meant for our financial position. You might think, oh yes, you're going to be raking in the money then, right? Well, not just yet. Not until the prize money's been added to our bank account, because we had to pay out a ton of money in player bonuses for avoiding relegation. So, yeah, that's not good, is it? Not a good figure to look at there. But anyway, heading into the final day, I'll show you the league table again though, because you'll want to see what could happen. Now again, the champions have been decided, that's Liverpool. The top 4 has all been decided. Brentford could still possibly do it, but it is unlikely despite their amazing form here. It looks like they and Newcastle are going to be in the Europa League for next year, of Arsenal, of course, getting out of Europa Conference League by winning the Carabao Cup. But the relegation battle is just as fascinating as it is in real life. Now, as we know, Forest have been down for practically the entire season, really, and they need a point to avoid equaling Derby County's infamous points record. But, as you can see, Everton really, you'd say, need to win on the final day because of the goal difference swing here. But they're actually playing, Leeds and Aston Villa are playing each other. But as you can see right now, Southampton and Everton, whilst they occupy the relegation zone places, 5 teams could go down the final day. Crystal Palace, Leeds, Aston Villa, the Saints and the Toffees, who look firm favourites to go down now. They need to win on the final day to stay up. But Leeds and Aston Villa play each other. Really, if they draw together, they'll basically survive. So I can imagine for 90 minutes just kicking the ball around and not really looking for goals. Just say, all right, lads, handshake before the game. Let's just play for the 0-0 here and both stay up. Crystal Palace could go down, but it is unlikely because of the goal difference swing. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And as you can see, these are the final fixtures as well. well. Again, Aston Villa playing Leeds, Saints are away against Spurs, so they need to at least get a point in that game. That's going to be tough there, where Spurs need at least a point to guarantee the top four, and as well, Everton at home to Arsenal, so tough one there. Crystal Palace themselves are away at Newcastle, but I think they're going to be safe, even though they could still technically go down. So, final game of the season, it is Liverpool at home. We've had an abysmal run, and I don't see it changing here against the new champion. Taking us to the game, right now in injury report. Cook, of course, down with the ligaments. Won't see him again until the midway point next season. Tavernier is done for the season, as is Traore as well. And this will be our team. 4-3-3. It's the final game in the Bournemouth shirt for King, Nato. The back four is Kelly, Senesi, Metham, and also Adam Smith, the vice captain, who I might sell in the summer. He wants to leave as well, so I might try and sell him. The midfield trio is Billing, Lerma, and the wonder kid Scott. On the wings, Jaden Anthony and David Brooks. And up top, Dominic Solanke, our top scorer. On the bench, Randolph, Zabani, Vina, Fredericks, Wolf, Roffa, Urtara, Christie, and Kiefer Moore as well. Final game of the season. Let's at least put up a fight, boys. It's been a really poor run of form. Come on, you cherries. Realistically, this is probably about as good as I was hoping for this season. I mean, just avoiding the drop was the most important thing. And whilst, yes, for a brief period of time, there was an outside shot of European football, it was highly unlikely. Like, let's be honest, even when there was still that outside shot, it was incredibly unlikely. So, it's a shame we've absolutely collapsed in the second half of the season, but I think like mid 40 points, that normally does see you finish in the bottom half of the table, but reasonably comfortable. That was about as good as we could possibly do this season, and that's what we have done. So really, whether we lose on the final day or not, it's not going to change anything. 13th, the lowest we can finish. Realistically, yeah, I'd say 12th, 13th, 14th. That was the best case scenario for us this season. So first chance coming to Liverpool, but as Lerma clears, they'll win it straight back through the Greek left back. And forward it goes to Diaz, out wide to Trent, down his right hand side. We know he can cross, which he does, and Darwin Nunez gets into double digits. As Villa and Leeds are, as expected, kicking the ball around and playing for the 0-0. But Everton are winning. Everton in front against Arsenal, who, to be fair, have had a pretty poor season and sacked Arteta. But at the moment, it's going to be the Saints who are losing at Spurs, and Leeds are going down as things stand now. So this is a very interesting final day for the relegation zone places. I felt for sure Palace were going to stay up. But Everton, I thought they were dead and buried. But instead, might well be surviving as Solanke should have got goal number 20. And Liverpool are going to go 2 up. No, they're not. Salah misses a golden chance there. Wow. As it's still 1-0 here. But I don't know, man. Like, seriously, I think in the summer, I'm definitely going to experiment with a new tactic, because this 4-3-3, I'm not going to say it's run its course. It's worked really well for us this season, especially against the big teams. But I do think we need another system in our presets, because at the moment, this is not quite giving us the results we got at the first half of the season. Not even close to it. We're playing poorly as well. I think I'll keep the 5-3-2 counter as like an emergency system, which will play, away at the Etihad or Old Trafford or whatever. But I think we need something else other than just the 4-3-3 that I've used for the majority of the season. Nunez bags his brace. We've been carved open way too easily today. I mean, we all know it, like high-line gegenpress is the way to go in Football Manager, but occasionally you do need something else. And I think that's what this second half of the season has taught me. I rested on my laurels from a great first half of the season, and you can't really do that in the Premier League. Solanke's got to 20, but I've got a feeling that's going to be ruled out for offside. This guy could have had 30 this year, and he not had his goals ruled out for offside. Is that one going to stand, though? No, that one stands. It's an assist for Alex Scott, and Dominic now has 20 goals. He's been the brightest spot for us this season. Aston Villa have been levelled there against Leeds. Oh, wow. Nonto, the wonder kid, bagging a brace. So Leeds, as things standing, going to climb to 15th place. Palace could still go down at this point, but it requires Southampton, who are drawing, to get a win. There's 10 minutes to go. Who is going to join Forest in the Championship? Well, that is going to do it, and in the end, it's going to be Aston Villa who drop into the bottom 3 on the final day, and Southampton who stay there and are relegated as well. Well, interesting stuff. So a 2-1 loss to Liverpool on the final day. No point in going harsh on the final day with nothing to play for, but it's a whimper of an end of a season for Bournemouth. Really poor. And, yep, in the end, it is indeed going to be Spurs keeping hold of a top 4 place, courtesy of a draw in it. Look at that! 1 point ahead of Brentford. What a season that would have been if Thomas Frank pulled that off, finishing in 4th place. But Spurs do cling on to a 4th place. Brentford, to be fair though, 5th place. They'd take that every day of the week, alongside Newcastle in Europa League. Chelsea finishing 7th, but miss out on European football because of Arsenal's Carabao Cup win. And in the end, again, Forest with the 12 points. And Aston Villa dropping into the bottom 3 on the final day are going down with the Saints as well. Everton, what an escape from Sean Dyche. Look at this. Back-to-back wins in the final 2 games after a terrible, terrible run. Give him some credit, man. 7 points from 9 in those 3 games. That's incredible. Erling Haaland, Golden Boot winner. Shotcaller, Salah in 2nd with Tony in 3rd. Solanke better than Harry Kane this year, though. You love to see that. 1 clear of the England captain there in the top 6. He had a great season for us after a slow start. And in the end, Nato didn't win the Golden Glove, and he really dropped off in the second half of the season as well after an amazing first half. But still, 13 clean sheets. Couldn't really ask for much more than that for Nato. So in the end, 13th place. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly as good as we could have done there. 13 wins in 38 games, and whilst the second half of the season was really poor, don't get me wrong, it's the first half of the season and the home form as well that really helped us survive. If you look at the first half of the season here, yeah, we were a top 10 team, but it's the second half we were just absolutely abysmal, only winning 5 times in 19 games. That is nowhere near good enough for a team that had an outside shot at a European place. Very poor end to the season, but at the end of the day, a comfortable finish, clear of the drop zone by several points. That's all I asked for, and I got it. I'll take it. And also, I got this wrong. Forest's 12 points weren't equaling a record with Derby County. Derby County had 11, Forest had 12. So I always get that wrong. I always think Derby had 12 points for some reason when they had 11. I don't know why. So Forest don't equal the record in the end and avoid the embarrassment of that. But Aston Villa and the Saints going down, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I said in the last episode I was already thinking about transfers. The Saints, as we know, loads and loads of young talent in their team. Romeo, after a year at St Mary's, do you want to come here instead? Obviously Aston Villa as well, tons of talent in their team as well. We're looking for a new goalkeeper. Emi Martinez will definitely have some interest, no doubt. Oh, come on Newcastle, you've got Nick Pope, let me have Martinez. But even so, I'll definitely be thinking about raiding those 2 teams, no doubt about that. So, to end the season, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the FA Cup winners, Champions League winners, and so on and so forth. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. Guardiola sacked. Never thought I'd see the day. But yeah, we'll look at who won what this season. One overview of the squad, and looking forward to the new season as well. By the way, guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. It's 44 million. Have we had our prize money allocated yet? Is that... Well, no, I'm not... What? Why? Look at the disparity. No, I'm not 44 million. We got nothing in the bank, guys. This is your problem. You're spending money you don't have. You're like my mum. Man, it really annoys me. I love my mum, but it's like, stop buying Joe Malone Reed diffusers for like 60 quid. You ain't got that sort of money. Buy them from Tesco for a £5 like I do at the best. Oh no. Brian Kidd is such a good coach in this game, man. And assistant manager. That's gutting. He's retiring after 1 year. Man, it's the end of season. You can tell it's the end of season when I'm worried about this sort of stuff. So, Bournemouth's end of season review. I love this stuff, man. Let's take a look at how we did then overall. Alex Scott, unsurprisingly, was the signing of the season for, well, in the end, what will surely go down at 16.5 mil. But at the moment, we've only spent 7.5 mil because he hasn't hit the other 2 instalments. Tavernier, though, was sublime this year in his first season, coming from the Borough. That wasn't my signing, but he had a great year. And, of course, Nato on a free as well. Fredericks was great as well, holding down a first-choice right-back slot. Really? I mean, all 4 of these signings were absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Your hard work and effort paid off and on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at end of season ceremony. Tavernier was the fans' player of the season. He won young player of the season at 24. Marcus, give it up, mate. It's modern day football. 22 is not a young player nowadays. Alex Scott signed the season though. Tavernier won goal this season there as well. Solanke the top goal scorer. Scott with the most assists. Solanke the most man of the matches. Tavernier highest average rating. And Senesi had the best pass completion ratio. That's really poor. It's 68% now. Or is it, I know, 68 during a game, not 68%. So Solanke broke the record. But I think these records only start from season 1, don't they? So we'll keep an eye on this as the save goes on. But for season 1, it was always going to set records because they only start from this season. So moving forward, this is our board culture. Sign players under the age of 23. Yep, I agree with that. Don't sign players over the age of 30. Good luck, because you know those veterans are going to be available on free transfers there. But also, glow the club's reputation. Spend a What is wrong with you, board? What? Why do you want to bankrupt us? I'm not spending a penny. We've got no money to work with, man. But avoid relegation. That's the most important thing. Just continue to avoid relegation. So I like that. I think next season's going to be the same as this. I really do. It's going to be all about just making sure we survive and survive comfortably. We ain't got the finances or the team. Right, well, that's the boys going away for the summer. And that will do it. I have to say, I really have no idea what the summer's going to look like, man, in terms of transfers. Where are we going to go for our pre-season tour? Ooh, Singapore, China, America. Let's go China. Let's go China. Try and get some commercial revenue out there in Asia. I really don't know what the new season's going to look like in terms of transfers because we need that. We need that big time. You know, I don't think I've ever had a takeover in a YouTube save before. This could be the first one, and Lord knows we would need it. This is a good end to season 1 after an abysmal. This is the positive. This is the positive we are ending on. Has the Champions League final been played yet? It was Leipzig versus Bayern Munich. I don't know where it's been played though. Let's have a look. No, it's on the 10th of June. Blimey, guys, the transfer window's open before the Champions League final. We just paid out another 8 million on transfer fees, and this is because Bournemouth have got so many players that they've bought in on instalments. So if you look at the clauses here, you'll see that like basically at the start of June or July, we're just paying like $1 million or 2 million or 1.5 or another million at the start of every June for seasons. Like this is a mess. Like Bournemouth's finances are an absolute mess. We are screwed with this sort of stuff. Like, what's the point in staying in the Premier League for that money if we're constantly spending the money on bonuses and instalments? Oh, please. Please, please, please. I need this takeover because otherwise we're absolutely bloody screwed. I mean, look, we all have Alex Scott the Wonder Kid, but at this point, I kind of want like a Liverpool or a Chelsea to put in a £60 million bid, meet the release clause, so I can clear the fucking debt. I mean, we're literally screwed. Potter's just being sacked by Chelsea. Interestingly enough, Guardiola might well be taken over there. That'll be an interesting one. Liverpool just won the FA Cup, by the way. They beat Chelsea 2-1, so... Right then. What's that done for our finances? We still got 17.5 mil to pay back, but that's doable. That is doable. That's not a sugar daddy coming in, but he certainly helped a lot. Oh, fantastic. So we just got our sponsorship deals coming in. Why does this happen after we get the initial budgets? Surely it should be the other way around, but it's much better. It's up by £12 million, so that's huge. That's absolutely huge. If we take a look now at the financial situation, because of the new chairman coming in and pumping in some money on 11.3 mil, and the sponsorship deal being at 21.6 mil, we've now got ourselves out of the red. We're up to 23.6 mil. We still do have, of course, the debt and a loan to repay, but it means that even after we've paid it back, we'll still be in the green. We still have to be careful with the budget. We can't spend all of that. Not even close. We can't even spend half of that if we want to stay in the green. Repaying these debts. I'd absolutely love a sugar daddy. I've never had one before in FM. They must be so fun because you can just do whatever you want, you know? You can just do whatever you want. So the transfer window's about to open. I haven't got any targets. Normally by now I've ended the season, but I need to find out who won the Champions League final first. Oof. My goodness. We've got some big bids here. I Well, I'm definitely not accepting that one from Sheffield United or from Palace, but those two there, those are, oh. Solanke got me 20 goals this year without him. Oh, I don't know about that, you know. Right, so, the transfer window is now open. I'm going to sim past the Champions League final, so we'll see who won that, and then we'll leave it there. Will you stop giving these fucking contracts out, mate? I took control of this myself. I like to handle the staff. Stop. I've done. Right. So Champions League final was won by Bayern Munich. They beat RB Leipzig on pens in a Champions League final, avenging their demons from 2012. Was it against Chelsea? But yeah, Bayern Munich Champions League winners. I saw Fiorentina won the Europa Conference League. Who won the Europa League? That was won by Manchester United. Very interesting indeed. Beating Arsenal in a final there. In an all-English affair. Let's have a look at the tree and do all of the knockouts. There we go. So, wow. Cool. Whoa. Oh, I tell you what, games are very high scoring in FM, aren't they? Well, now I'm intrigued. What did the Champions League tournament tree look like? Maybe we should have done that one first. Where are we here? No, it's just the final. Round of 16. Ooh, interesting. Only one English side in the last 8. Wow, very interesting indeed. As the Conference League said that a moment ago there, Fiorentina beat Union Berlin on pens as well in the final. And there you go. There you go. No English sides in the knockout rounds at all, I can't see. Interesting. Right, that's that. That is that. I need to stop now because transfer window's open and I need to start doing some scouting, some shortlisting and some bidding for players as well. So, Bournemouth have got a takeover. It's certainly not a sugar daddy by any stretch of the imagination, but it has helped us get in the green and we still won't be spending all of that, that's for sure, but that's a bit helpful at the very, very least. That's it for season 1, guys. Big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, then please drop a like. Right, here's what I'm going to say. If you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. It is at @DocLanders. There's a link to my Twitter in the video in the description of every single video I do. Please follow me on Twitter because tomorrow I'm going to play through all of the summer transfer window, and because it takes an absolute age to get through the transfer window and the summer, as we know, getting through pre-season takes god awful amount of time. I'm going to play it all tomorrow and it will come back on Sunday morning with the start of the new season. So if you want updates on what's going on, follow me on Twitter and I'll be sure to post some screenshots of what's happening during the summer transfer window. Alright, so follow me on Twitter. It's at @DocLanders. I'll be back on Sunday morning with a brand new season. Bournemouth staying in the Premier League. But what are we going to do in the transfer window? Well, you'll find out on Sunday morning and if you follow me on Twitter as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love. And I'll see you for a brand new season with the Cherries. Oh, Championship. Forgot to mention who's coming up. I'll do that real quick now. Norwich are going up. We're seeing Sheffield United beat Watford then on the playoff final as well. They're going up as well. And West Brom, when I can get there. West Brom are joining them as well. Norwich, West Brom and Sheffield United in the Premier League next year. Interesting stuff. Thanks for watching. Much love. And I'll see you for a new season very soon.